Hello, I'm Richard Herring.
And I'm Abdul,
And this is Sight on Screen.
The show where we watch and discuss a movie that only one of us has seen before.
Yes, and I was the lucky one this week. I'd seen this before. So I didn't see it in cinema, but I did see it almost as pretty much as soon as it was released to the home video market. Let's call it the home video market, even though
video market.
That's an outdated term.
That's as outdated as Blockbuster is.
Yeah, that's like me when I keep talking about like direct to DVD when nobody buys DVDs anymore. It's like, no, those are called streaming films now.
Yeah, pretty much. That's like a Hulu movie, right?
Yeah,
there.
that's the Hulu movie. My God. So we were watching Jordan Peele's Us.
Yes, in anticipation of his newest movie coming out soon, Antabellum.
Antabellum, a film neither of us know anything about. Because
As it should be.
As it should be, because we want to be surprised.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I mean, that at least from experience, the best way to watch a Jordan Peele film is dead cold. You just want no information going in. You want to be surprised.
Yeah, that's how I got in with Get Out. I knew
Likewise.
absolutely nothing about it. And I was pleasantly surprised by some fantastic acting, incredible camera angles, cinematography. Basically, his directorial debut being mind-blowing.
Out of the park. I mean, I'm one of those guys who got introduced to Jordan Peele's comedy work from the film. I'd never heard of him. I never knew nothing about it. I'd seen Michael Keegan Peele. Is that his name? I'd seen...
No, not Peele.
Michael Keegan...
Michael Keegan Key.
That's what it is, yeah. Michael Keegan Key. I'd seen, his thing with Obama. I think that's about the only exposure I had. Yeah, the Angry Translator. Angry Translator. That was the only thing I'd seen from either of those two.
Yeah.
And then Get Out just came out of left field like a train on a runaway track. I mean, damn, that thing took me by surprise.
That was a great film.
Yeah.
I'd seen their comedy sketch show, the Key and Peele.
Key and Peele, yeah.
Because I was a huge fan of The Chappelle Show, and this was supposed to be the spiritual successor to Chappelle Show.
Spiritual successor. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. I'll buy that.
I never really got into Saturday Night Live.
No,
it was never really my thing.
No, I can agree with that.
But yeah, Chappelle Show was definitely an awesome experience growing up as a teenager.
I never watched it. It was never it wasn't available where I was. I suspect.
It was on MTV.
Yeah, I didn't have MTV.
I used to watch it every week on MTV.
God, I didn't have MTV.
That and Pimp My Ride. Those were my shows. Yes.
Yeah.
As someone who isn't interested in cars, Pimp My Ride was my shit.
Yeah, no, I remember growing up watching Midsummer Murder and Wheeler Dealers, where an incredibly tall man fixes vehicles, meticulously. Because, Discovery Channel as well. Yeah,
Discovery Channel.
That was kind of my childhood.
Yeah, Discovery Channel, Mythbusters, Brainiac.
Mythbusters, definitely. Yeah, no, that was more my area. I was
I watched all that stuff. I never studied, even though I got good grades. I never studied. I would always watch TV.
Discovery.
Yeah. Discovery, MTV, Extreme Sports.
Nice.
I was in some Nickelodeon as well.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Batman the Animated Series.
Batman the Animated Series.
That was the bee's knees.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
No, I was a movie guy. I was always a movie guy. I had a great thing because I was living in Oman, where copyright law is, shall we say, deficient. Mm-hmm. So I would go down to the local rental shop, the Blockbuster, or our variant of it, and they gave me a choice. Either I could rent the film, or for the same price, they'd burn me a copy.
Yeah, that's how it was in Jordan as well.
It was amazing. And I'm like, I just had piles of DVDs with handwritten names.
Yeah. In Jordan, it was you go downtown and you buy for 1 denarii, which is about 10 Norwegian kroners, or about $1.
Same thing.
Essentially,
yep.
You get a movie.
I was paying about 15 kroner.
Yeah. And they showcase you the quality of the movies so that you're not surprised. Because some of them are cam, some of them are better quality.
Oh no, this was an actual rental store. So it was all the DVDs were rental DVDs, and then they just burned a copy.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about it's approximately the same thing. This was a store that sold legitimate copies of movies and also
and the cam stuff.
Yeah, and the cam stuff.
Yeah, that cam stuff doesn't sound.
No, that
correct.
Sounds really bad.
That sounds really bad. We shouldn't talk about that on this show.
Or should we?
That'd be a different kind of site. Definitely
that's
off
a Patreon.
That's on Patreon now. Site off screen.
Site off screen.
Don't
Cam on screen.
Cam on screen. Oh God, no. That's a direct to DVD.
That's a direct to DVD.
So yeah, okay. Tangent aside.
Tangent aside.
Oh, we're already back.
Back to
us.
So
let's just
not you and I, but the movie.
We'll not have the same confusion as we had before when we told somebody we were going to be working on Us, and someone thought we were going to couples counseling,
something like that.
Okay, first things first, though. Mm-hmm. As we have just said, Jordan Peele, go in dead cold. If you haven't seen the film, watch it. Don't listen to us talk about it. This is one of those movies we, number one, recommend, and number two, go watch it.
Yes.
Before you hear
both
someone
of his
spoil
movies,
it.
actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Get Out completely. And Us.
Watch them. Don't let anybody spoil them for you. Just watch them, get them out of the way, then you can come back and listen to us.
Yeah, because we recommend them highly, both of them.
Oh yeah, and we're probably going to talk about Get Out at least a little
bit. Yeah.
I suspect that might be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, we generally try to avoid spoilers, but, things get spoiled along the way.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's the spoilers in terms of, there's a twist at the end of the film type spoiler, and then there is, this whole movie is bizarre, and you kind of should experience it all fresh.
Yeah. This
is very much the second category. Because, you're kind of watching this, and you're like, you don't know where this film is going.
Yeah, it's unpredictable in some ways.
In other ways, it becomes a bit predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, more so than Get Out did.
Much more so than Get Out,
yeah.
I would say. I think Get Out is a stronger film all over. I think this is probably better made.
Higher production value.
Production value, yeah. I think, he took some of the lessons that he learned from Get Out and implemented here. But some of the magic went
Get
away.
Out had a much stronger story.
Yeah, and that's usually how it is with directorial debuts, is...
something you've been working on for a long time.
Yeah, like something you've been ruminating on, and then, you make it big, studio goes, hey, make us another one, and then you have to come up with something in the next year.
Yeah, because
not sooner.
Get Out, how to put this? Get Out has a strong, solid story, and then it has a light drizzle of eccentric, sci-fi kind of Twilight Zone on top. Mm-hmm. This is much more the Twilight Zone, and then the story is underpinning it.
Yeah. And it's no surprise, because Jordan Peele himself has said that Twilight Zone was one of his biggest inspirations.
Oh yeah, Rod Serling.
Yeah. And funny enough, a little brain twister,
yeah.
which is a mouth twister for the brain, because I have to explain it, because I just came up with this term. So a brain twister is... So Jordan Peele, inspired by Twilight Zone, makes Get Out starring, what was his name? Real quick.
Kaluuya?
Yeah.
Come on, you had it here. Daniel Kaluuya as Chris Washington, yeah.
Yeah, sorry if I butchered that name. Daniel Kaluuya, who then went on to star in Black Mirror, which is the spiritual successor to Twilight Zone. He was in the first season, arguably the best episode in that season.
I can agree with that.
And then... because of the success of Black Mirror, a new Twilight Zone was greenlit, hosted, and created by Jordan Peele. Back again, the full circle.
The circle continues.
Yeah. So very interesting little...
brain twister, as you called it.
Yeah. And, so the inspirations are sometimes quite obvious. Sometimes
here it's much more obvious than Get Out.
Yes.
Get Out had its moments. This is much more an overall... The atmosphere is much more Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I would say Get Out is inspired by Twilight Zone. This is more like it could have been a...
This is feature-length Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's not like it looks bad or anything or old. It's just...
No, not even in the slightest.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, no,
but
the
in terms
cinematography, the color grading, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Some of the camera work is great, too.
Fantastic. I mean, just in terms of, like, the tone it takes and the feel of it, it has very much this kind of abstract, don't worry too much about the details. It's not the moral message, but the existential questions being raised that are more important.
Yeah. And very similar to Twilight Zone, at least the older Twilight Zone episodes, where the twist, it usually had two twists.
Yep.
One that was revealed very early on.
Yeah.
Which is very similar in this movie.
Very similar to this.
And then one that's the sort of gotcha at the end, which is, oh, you thought this was going one way, but it's not really.
Also very much like this. I mean, we've got the spoiler warning out of the way. We can just go for it now.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit of the plot at least?
Okay, so we'll give you. I'm not going to give you the plot, but I'm going to give you the setup.
The setup.
Yeah, let's call it that way. So we have Adelaide Wilson, who is being played by Lupita Nyong'o, who is
fantastic,
unbelievable in this movie, just out of this world good. I mean, she's always been great, but she brought it here because
this was to be perfectly frank, I had seen a little bit of this movie.
Right, yeah. You had kind of a green out.
Yeah, well, I'd say a brown out.
No, don't call it that.
I'm calling it a brown out.
No,
not quite as severe as blacking out, but I was in a good brown zone.
Brown out is something else. Don't call it a brown out.
Fine, burnout. I don't know.
Burnout, sure.
Yeah, where it was very, very late and we'd been inebriated a little bit, and so. When we started watching the movie, I pretty much passed out in the first 5 minutes, and then I woke up somewhere in the middle, didn't know what was going on, passed out again, and then woke up for the finale basically.
Yeah,
and I even passed out before the credits roll, so I didn't get to see the actual
well done.
Yeah, I know.
Well done.
But I did see that amazing choreography.
Yes. So that first 5 minutes, you watch a little girl who is with her parents at a fairground in Santa Cruz. They are down at the boardwalk. 1986. And she gets lost and wanders into a mirror funhouse. And she sees something that looks like her. You can see the back of a girl's head. Yeah. Same hairstyle.
Same clothing.
And we cut to the present day. So we left 1986, we're in the present day, and this little girl has grown up to become Lupita Nyong'o, who is her and her family are going to travel to her childhood home, which is now their summer home.
Did they say it was childhood home?
Yeah, no, it's her,
okay.
From what I understood at least. She finds, because in the basement she has the ballet thing.
That's true, that's true. Yeah.
Her home that has now become their summer home. And we're introduced to the family.
Yeah, which we have to
give so much credit here.
Yeah, that family dynamic is the most realistic take I've ever seen on a family on film.
Damn much. I mean, and as much as I give credit to Lupita Nyong'o because she is great in this, she's really great in the horror movie part of this, especially.
Yeah, when it comes to the more dramatic acting and that kind of stuff.
Winston Duke, ladies and gentlemen, is a goddamn revelation as a dad.
Yes, he is the ultimate dad.
His dad energy is magnificent.
Just the roof. Dad energy all over the place. He's spilling it everywhere. It's oozing all over every orifice.
Everywhere. We're both sitting there going, we would marry this man. If you don't know who Winston Duke is, he's here playing Gabe Wilson. The most famous role he has, though, is
Black Panther.
Black Panther, where he is the head of the Bashka, I think they're called. The tribe that's not part of the main grouping.
Yeah, where the opening fight scene, basically.
Yeah, he is he's the one who challenges T'Challa for the right to rule, and they have a big fist fight, and then later on he is the one who has the magnificent line, "We are going to eat you." I'm kidding, we're vegetarian. It's
it's great.
And that delivery. And in that movie, he nails those little comedic beats, and still has an action presence, and has so much charisma. Here, playing a present day dad, it's through the roof.
I wish I'd known someone like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's believable, it's very honest, and yet it's entirely charismatic. I mean, you like this guy.
Yeah, you can't help but fall in love with him.
Yeah, he's such a He's bitching about his friend has a better car.
Yeah, he's riding the boat.
He's messing with his kids. He's dabbing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
His daughter goes, ew. It's like, it's right there.
And also have to give credit to the kids. They were not terrible.
So that is Shahadi Wright Joseph, who's playing Zora, and Evan Alex, who is playing Jason.
Yes.
And I'm going to say something, and this is not meant unkindly. Jason Alex, or Evan Alex, because he is very young, is the weak link. Mm-hmm. However,
they found a very smart way to go around that.
They did, which is that the kid likes wearing a mask, which means that and he's something he used to kind of hide during intense moments, which means that the performance doesn't need to be quite as strong, which is well done. Because he does the family dynamic stuff brilliantly.
He does the family dynamic stuff really well. He does some of the physical stuff also really well.
But the horror aspect of it, the drama that Lupita is bringing so well, he's a kid. I get why he's not as strong in those moments.
Yeah.
And the mask really helps.
Yes. No, that was a brilliant choice by whoever
made that decision.
Costume design, that was a brilliant choice.
Yeah, Shahadi, on the other hand, the girl, who is playing like a 14, 15-year-old, I guess. Yes. I don't think her age is actually given. She brings
because Lupita mentions that when she was 14.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
14. So she's supposed to be about 14.
Yeah, number one, thank God they cast children who look their ages.
Yes.
There's no middle teens here trying to be 14.
It's not Tobey Maguire trying to play a high school student at 33. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, Tobey Maguire still looks like a child, but in the worst way.
In the worst way, yeah.
Yeah, no, but this girl really brings it, especially during the drama. I mean, the intensity part.
I don't want to spoil, but
spoil it. Come on, we've already given the warning. We're fine.
Okay, all right.
At least that part.
The other her.
Yes.
Brilliant job.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Creepy.
So creepy.
It was so creepily done. It was amazing.
Going back to what you were talking about, the Twilight Zone. Yeah, we're not going to go into what happens at the end. That we're going to leave alone. But the initial conceit, and it's in the trailer. I mean, it's something kind of is well known right now.
Yeah.
Is that the family at the beach vacation is attacked by another family of them.
Yeah, who look identical.
Exactly like them. They are wearing red overalls, they have scissors, and they're
wearing like the sewer gloves, which is sort of what they use.
Driving gloves.
No, they're not driving gloves. They're for sewing. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's the same kind of glove that they made the Freddy Krueger glove out of. They just attached knives to it for Freddy Krueger.
Right. Yeah, here they didn't need to do that.
No. But yeah, it's sewing gloves and not flip-flops, but sandals.
Yes. Bizarrely.
Magnificent sandals, by the way.
Nice sandals. Yeah. So I mean, it's the same actors playing dual roles as the aggressors, who are very creepy and primal and animalistic. I think was the word we used.
Animalistic is definitely the word to use.
Yeah. Here. I mean, it's not very like psychopathic violence. It's pure animal violence. What's being exacted here? It's rough.
Yeah, and when you actually get down to about midway through the movie, you start understanding a little bit their motivations, and you can kind of understand that this is the reason why they're animalistic. This is for survival.
Yeah, essentially. Completely. I mean, and it is given some kind of foundation, and it does make a bit of sense.
Yeah.
But and the dual role part. I mean, the standouts for that have to be Shahadi as Zora Wilson again, and Umbre. I think they're named at the beginning of Umbra. They're named at the beginning of the film. And Lupita's variant, which is Red.
Yeah, no.
And Lupita, both of those two are unbelievably scary. Mm-hmm. They're so intense, those performances. I mean, not to take away from any of the others.
I would even say that Shahadi had a much more scary...
Oh, yeah.
She was terrifying. More scary. She was more scary in a traditional sense.
Yes.
Where... the facial expression and the physicality is really off-putting and almost twitchy in some points, and it was like really it gets you. But Red, the performance, Lupita as Red, the performance is what makes it scary.
Oh yeah, because it is intense, and I mean it is.
And when I say performance, I mean like when she's conversing, like it's not so much what she does, it's what she doesn't do that's scary.
she has a very bizarre way of moving. It's incredibly controlled and yet twitchy.
Yeah.
It's very odd, and her voice is incredible in that. I mean, she's the only one who really gets dialogue in the other form, and she has this broken, harsh way of speaking.
Yeah. It's like speaking inward instead of outward, basically.
And it gets under your skin. I mean, it's skin crawling. I mean, it's just intense.
No. So the acting was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, going a little bit to what you were saying though, I wouldn't call it very scary.
No, it's
very intense.
It's an intense movie. It's not like your typical sort of Conjuring-esque or
sweet Christ for that.
It's kind of in the same boat as Get Out, although Get Out had, I think, more jump scares than this.
Get Out had more jump scares. Get Out also had a slightly more, because its mystery was a bit more involved.
Yeah,
it was creepier. Where in a more subtle sense, this kind of gets right to it. It isn't too long before this movie gets going, and then it's very much a survival movie.
Yeah, I was jokingly saying that this could lead into I Am Legend.
Yeah, no, it's very it gets a bit apocalyptic there.
Yeah, it's, in terms of the survival aspects of the movie.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a much better made movie.
Though I have to say, Winston Duke as I Am Legend,
that would have been amazing.
Amazing,
right?
I would.
Well, different script too.
Different script.
Yeah, just throw that script away.
Better movie.
Yeah, because we got to give Will Smith some credit. He's also an incredibly charismatic man. Probably one of the most charismatic people in Hollywood.
Here's the thing, though, and this is why I kind of bring this up. You have Will Smith, who is always Will Smith.
That's true, yeah.
Will Smith is charismatic as Will Smith. Winston Duke here is clearly not being himself freely. It's a performance, because we've already seen him do what he did in Black Panther. So we know this isn't just his go-to performance.
Yeah, it's true, because even his comedic beats were very different here than it was in Black Panther. His tone of voice is very different. He's the way that he
less physical.
Yeah, much less physical. Yeah. He really embodies the dad.
Yeah, because he's underplaying his own physicality. Because you can clearly tell this guy is still a huge, muscly dude.
Yeah, but he kind of like slouches a little bit. Gives himself like a dad bod.
Yeah, he's gone a bit to seed, and he's very. For being such a large, imposing figure, he kind of doesn't bring that much presence physically.
Yeah.
And it's underplaying it, and his voice is much higher than it is in Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. No, in Black Panther, it's almost guttural.
Yeah, no, it's very down here in his chest area.
A lot of bass. But no, here it's very high. It's kind of high-pitched.
And he's also not... I mean, he does a really great job of finding this... I would call it the perfect middle-class man thing of give me my bat, goes outside, comes back inside, call the police.
No, it's America in a nutshell.
He wants to be macho. You can tell he's got it. It's not that he isn't brave. It's just he's a reserved, conservative guy. He buys a boat.
Yeah, I know.
And he's so proud of his boat, even though the family hates it.
And it's a broken boat.
It's a broken-ass boat. It's a broken-ass boat that plays into his own plot. It's like,
I know, yeah, it's great.
It's great foreshadowing, but I mean, he's bringing a really interesting performance because he is not playing lead hero. Lupita is bringing the hero character. She's the one, take charge, she's the one who's going out and getting it done.
She even pretty much says it at one point.
You don't make the decisions anymore.
Yeah.
But I gotta say though, the one moment we both really did react to is... It's a two-sided moment, but the kids are gonna go to bed, and then we're gonna go to the magic room.
And the best part, the delivery is done while he's slouching on the couch watching the news or
watching football.
No, baseball. That's what it was. He was watching baseball.
And
Giants. Then she walks away, and she's like, and then we're gonna go to the magic room.
Just a little comment to himself. He's not even talking to anybody.
I know.
But then later, when they're going to bed... And this is where the physicality thing comes in, because he sprawls across this... It's
a tiny bed compared to him.
Compared to him,
yeah.
It's a two-people bed, but it looks like it was made for him as a child. It's like...
Yeah, no, because it's a queen-size bed.
Yeah.
and it looks like it's smaller than a regular twin, as they call it, which is like...
He just sprawls up, taking up this entire bed.
Yeah, I know.
And he's trying to make himself look sexy in his sweatshirt and his little, plaid shorts.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
That guy had the look of a man who was gonna get him some.
Right?
He's like, yeah.
At least he thought he was.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, he's really bringing this great dad, believable character here. And it's so nice because, number one, he isn't an asshole. He's a little insensitive. He's a bit, dense in a very male way.
Yeah.
But at no point does he go into I'm in charge, I'm macho, I'm an asshole way at all.
Yeah, no. Not even the slightest.
Because a lot of movies like this do take that route.
Yeah.
The patriarchal thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good example, The Purge, the first one, where as much as I love Ethan Hawke...
In that movie, he sucks. I'm sorry. In that movie, he is awful.
I mean, that movie is not great.
Piece of crap.
It's not great.
No, it's not. The other ones got better.
They fall.
They got better.
I haven't seen any others. I saw the first one. I was like, not for me.
No, it's mainly because they've embraced the concept a lot better. So they turn them into action movies.
Yeah.
They're action movies with people going crazy. It's rave action movies.
All right. But yeah, so there they fall on the stereotypical where I'm gonna protect you, I'm gonna get all
yeah
here they even make a joke about Home Alone.
That's
so sweet.
Where this man is kind of like, we'll set some traps, we'll do we'll do some Home Alone shit, and his wife just looks at him
like, did you really just use Home Alone?
Did you just reference Home Alone? Because these guys aren't going to be taken down by spreading out micro machines. It's just... And I love the little moments where the dad
and then the kids were what's Micro Machine?
Yeah. What's Home Alone?
Yeah.
No, but there's lots of moments in this movie where the dad is going to say something slightly daddish or macho in a terrible situation, and the daughter will always take the time to roll her eyes at him.
Oh yeah. No, every single scene. That's what we're saying. It's so incredibly believable, the family dynamic.
My favorite one for that though is when the guy goes, "You're scaring the wife is clearly scaring him." So he goes, "Honey, you're scaring the kids." And the kids in unison go, "Too late."
Yeah, too late.
It's like, oh. And that's the other great thing. As the movie progresses and it becomes graphic and violent and horrific and all that stuff, the family dynamic doesn't actually go away. It just changes.
No, it doesn't even change. It
changes a little bit. I mean, because it's under duress, but you can still tell it's there.
Yeah, no, but the core relationship between the characters doesn't change.
Nope.
And that's kind of carried through. That's what carries you through the movie. It's the relationship between the characters.
Yeah, and it really works and it holds together really well.
Yeah. But so
beautiful movie.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the.
Let's talk about the color grading and the cinematography.
Yes.
There's a lot of very smooth, steady cam work going on here.
Steady cam. There were some interesting dolly shots.
A lot of dolly shots. Pans even. Just very smooth.
Yeah, that circular scene in the house where you just go from front and back and you're hearing the sounds as the camera is turning.
You're watching. The other thing this movie does really well is hide stuff in the background.
Yes.
Because what they're using is a narrow focal length, so only the main person, like Lupita or one of the daughter or whatever, is like crisp in focus, but you're seeing things happening out of focus behind them.
Yeah.
They do that a lot, and it's really well done.
Good examples, the first Woman in Black movie with Daniel Radcliffe, maybe?
Radcliffe, yes, I remember that.
I've seen that had some of those, and another one, Hereditary.
Hereditary has a lot of them.
Yeah. It has one that's incredible.
Ooh, yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about Hereditary.
That's the thing I will say. This movie, if you want Hereditary scares, this is not the movie. This is a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I think Get Out is more in line with Hereditary, where it's a slower burn, and the mystery is sort of what
I will say, though, is if you watch Get Out and you're looking at what the difference is between that and something like Hereditary, it's those differences that make up the entirety of Us.
Yeah.
It's all of those non-straight-up horror moments. It's all that other stuff, that tension and that kind of pace, because this movie moves. It's a 2-hour movie, and you just fly through it, because you're always moving forward.
Yeah, there's no... let's sit down and calm and have some exposition. And no,
it's a tiny bit, but those moments are actually really great for the family dynamic.
They're so fleeting. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like those are like the family stuff,
and that's when the humor comes in.
Yeah, but they don't last. It's like barely a minute, and then we're moving to the next thing.
The best one, the one we both reacted to, is kind of like the husband is like, "We should stay here," and the wife is like, "No, we shouldn't." Kid. Wait, does that mean we get to take their car?
Yeah, right.
And Winston, too, you can just see his face because he's bitched earlier that this family has a better car.
Hang on, we got to set up the shot. The shot is a wide.
Yeah, it's a wide.
Yeah, it's a wide of all of them, pretty much like sitting in a line,
and a dead body in front of them,
with a dead body in front of them. And then the kids go, "Can we take the car?" And Winston just like shrugs a little bit, with like, "Oh yeah, we could."
He does his face, which is kind of like, "That's true."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
can you imagine, like, eyebrows a bit up, tilted?
A little bit with the mouth going...
and then nodding a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of...
And it's, like, there for, like, a second, and then they switch to the next scene where they're running for the car. We're running for the car.
It's just these wonderful little moments that they sprinkle in that just keep us online, because he's been bitching earlier about this guy having a better car than him. He's like...
like, the guy keeps buying more expensive versions of what he has, because he's, like, showing off.
They have a friend family, let's call them that.
Yeah.
Which is the Tylers, which is Elizabeth Moss, Tim Heidecker, and some twins, Callie and Noelle Sheldon.
Yes. The actual twins. Wow.
Yeah, they're actual twins. Yeah. I noticed in the opening credits they were listed together. I'm like, I'm assuming those are the twins. Oh,
I was too focused on the song and the opening credits to notice the name.
And then when the twins came on the screen, you were too focused about something else than noticing they were twins.
No, because they're not believable as 14-year-olds.
No, they're older.
Those do not make sense.
No, they're a bit older and they're wearing bikinis on the beach.
Yes, that does not make sense for a 14-year-old.
Of all the things to point out, really. But yeah, no, those two are...
Tangent aside.
I'm
pulling an executive decision. Tangent aside. We're not talking about this anymore.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like, not only is the Wilson family being attacked by doubles, this other family is also being attacked by doubles. And this is very much the opposite of the family dynamic. It's because these people are assholes.
Yeah, and they're not a family at all, basically.
No, they're kind of... you see little moments of them together, and it's completely different. They just... There's none of that happiness. There's none of that joy. And, I mean, that was, I assume, intentional, and they do a really good job of it.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect reflection of what could have been, basically.
Yeah, just like really early on, it's like the husband's getting her a drink, and he's gonna hand it to her, and he's like, "What do you say?"
Yeah, and she's like, "I hate you."
He's like, "Close enough."
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, that's... no.
To be fair, it is close.
It is close.
Hating someone and loving someone, it's a very thin line. Wishing... We'll do anything, sacrifice yourself or anything for them, or want them to not exist. Yeah, very, very close.
They've also got perhaps one of the best gags in this movie, where they've got one of these it's not an Amazon Echo. It's
they couldn't get the rights to use to Alexa.
What do they call it? Penelope?
No. Ophelia.
Ophelia. Yeah, they've got this thing they call Ophelia, and there's this wonderful moment where poor old Elizabeth Moss is. She's been stabbed. She's calling away. She's like, "Ophelia, call the police."
Yeah, while having her neck slashed so she barely can talk and like bleeding everywhere. Like, "Ophelia, call the police." And she's like, "We'll now play F the Police by NWA."
It's just kind of like, sure thing.
Yeah.
Sure thing, Kitty. We'll play F. Why are you self-censoring? Fuck the police.
Well, I don't know. You never know with YouTube and demonetization.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well. we probably should censor.
Nah.
Alright, uncensored.
This one at least is uncensored. If this is demonetized, so be it.
So be it. Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
And by God, yes, fuck the police. They don't show up.
No, yeah, they like call it like, "Help, there's people in our front yard." And we both had this moment where we're both sitting there going, "Oh, they're a black family."
Yeah, right?
The police aren't coming. Nah, they're just
being attacked by another black family.
Yeah,
no, the police are not coming.
Lupita should have just started with, "Help, I'm a white woman."
Yeah. That's the sad state of reality.
USA.
But, tangent aside.
No, so this family is attacked, so you get to watch the other side of this, which is more brutal in a way, but less terrifying, because the addition... Red, the other side of Lupita, is way more psychological than the rest of them. Mm-hmm. And that means that when they're being terrorized, the Wilson family, that unit there, when they're attacked, it is actually quite terrifying. There's like a little speech that happens, and they're separated, and there's a much more psychological element. Whereas when the Tylers are attacked, it is just straight up murder fest.
Oh yeah, no, they go straight for the jugular. Yeah. Literally.
Right for the jugular. Yeah. And can we all just appreciate Tim Heidecker, who just manages to bring asshole energy into both performances.
Oh yeah. Yeah. In both cases, he's such an asshole.
He's such a dick. And you expect it from the guy, but when even the double has his little dick moments.
Yeah, or just like,
yeah, like the wife is reaching for him, and he reaches his hand, but he does the slick hair back thing.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my god, that's brilliant.
That is a move from like the Karate Kid. What are you doing? Oh, it is...
A Karate Kid, for those of you who don't know, we're not talking about the Jaden Smith
no
Karate Kid movie. No, we're talking about
Ralph Macchio, baby.
Ralph Macchio.
When is that, 1986?
Something like that.
Came out, in the beginning of this movie.
Essentially.
Can we all just give a small... I just have to have a small moment here where Jordan Peele sometimes throws in little things that just make me very happy. And at the beginning of this movie... we open on a television showing the 80s commercials. It is the 80s in a nutshell. But there, on a recorded VHS on the side, is the movie Chuds.
No, just Chud.
Chud, yeah. A movie that almost nobody has seen, but I have.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
It is a complete no-budget New York horror movie. It is...
What does it stand for?
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Yeah, not to be confused with The Ritual of Chud, which is from Stephen King's It.
The only two people of any note in that movie... Oh no, three people. You have John Hurd, the dad from Home Alone.
Okay.
You have, not Marv from Home Alone.
Oh, nice. The Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits, not the one played by...
Not Joe Pesci,
Not Joe Pesci, but the other guy.
Yeah, the tall one.
Yeah, and it is the first film appearance by John Goodman.
Oh!
He's in it for like 5 seconds, and then is murdered by a zombie. He's a fat... I think he's actually credited as Fat Cop. It's like...
Wow.
John Goodman, everybody.
John Goodman. Oh, the guy who played Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly.
He was Fred.
He was Fred. He's done so many good roles, though.
Yeah.
Cloverfield, hey.
Cloverfield. Well, don't get it confused with Cloverfield, because it's 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Same...
It's the same universe, yeah.
Yeah, same universe.
Which I have my doubts. I think that this was a completely different movie.
Script, yeah.
And then they just added a little shot of a signpost that says Cloverfield, and we're like,
sure.
Great movie, by the
way. Way better than the first one. Or way better than Cloverfield.
Well, I like Cloverfield.
I like Cloverfield but Cloverfield Lane is way better.
Yeah, no, 10 Cloverfield Lane is a brilliant movie.
Way better.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's a great movie. I mean, Cloverfield is a decent enough monster movie. I don't like the whole, handheld thing, but...
It makes perfect sense when you know the budget of that movie.
Yeah.
And that was a really nice way to get around shooting expensive CGI.
Yeah, it's a good way to get around having to, spend money and make it look good.
Yeah. But, another movie that did it better is probably Wreck.
Wreck, it's the one, the Spanish, not Quarantine, not the American.
Which is the American remake, which is a shot-for-shot remake. Yeah. But with much worse actors.
Much worse everything. That movie sucks. Wreck is great, 2008 Spanish movie. Other than that, Blair Witch Project gets a lot of kudos. I think it's all right. It's
probably the first movie. It's not the first movie to use handheld as a medium, but it's the first movie to popularize it.
It's the first one that did the whole found footage thing.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, found footage.
Yeah, where it really popularized the found. No, because Cannibal Holocaust did found footage.
No, what they did is something different. They did that was I can't remember the exact term, but it's fakeumentary, where it's it's meant to be documentary footage.
Okay, fine, and then. Sure, but yeah, so found footage, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Paranormal Activity took that idea and just went with it.
Not only ran with it, they ran with it and then decided to run it into the ground.
Yeah, they ran with it, down through the ground, through the Earth's core, out the other side, and back into the sun.
How many of those are there now? Like
I
7?
I don't know. I stopped watching any of... I saw the first one. I thought it was interesting.
God. Another terrible one, As Above, So Below. People like that.
Really?
I've heard.
I thought it was
did you like
okay.
that?
I didn't like it, but I think it's okay.
Stand that movie. I thought it was a pretentious piece of shit.
It is pretentious, which is why I liked it.
You like Malik. Yeah, you like pretentious.
I like pretentious.
You like pretentious.
I thought the idea was interesting.
Because the idea was interesting, sure, but...
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy who can appreciate ideas.
I like ideas, but here's the thing, though. I like a good idea.
Yeah. Just like Man of Steel. Like, I can appreciate Man of Steel because I appreciate the idea, not the execution.
No, but this is the problem for me. It's like, if you waste a good idea through bad execution, that's even worse. Yeah. You had something to work with, and then you wasted it on this piece of crap.
You're not wrong.
Why did you do this?
You're not wrong.
No. Oh, man.
Oh, tangent aside.
Tangent aside, this is another one where... I mean, this is the problem when you're talking about a really good movie, is that you kind of don't have too much to complain about. And there's only so much nice stuff you can say, which means tangents do happen.
Yeah, but color grading.
Color grading.
We gotta mention the color grading.
Number one, this is a clean, sharp-looking movie. No fake film grain. No real... You know, they're not trying to go for an oldie look. It's not Conjuring. This is crisp, modern style.
Yeah, and what they did with the colors is beautiful.
Gorgeous. Oh.
Absolutely beautiful.
It is, and it's odd for... Again, we're going to call this a horror movie because that is technically the classification.
Technically.
Yeah. It's weird for a horror movie to see this.
Yeah.
Horror movies usually go for a kind of desaturated...
the drab
middle grade color ground. So you usually have a
dark
dominant color.
Yeah, and usually very dark, and the contrast is turned up slightly.
Yeah, Hereditary.
Hereditary is a good example.
I mean, good work color grading, but very much that traditional horror film look. This is bright, saturated, lots of colors. It is very Santa Cruz. It's very much got this California color thing going on, and they really pump it in the color grading. Mm-hmm. It's Florida Project. I mean, same kind of thing, but less grungy, as you said.
Yeah, it's much less grungy. Florida Project is a really... With the film grain being insane in that movie.
Yeah, film grain is off the charts, but the color popping is very much there.
Yeah.
And this does the same thing, but they keep the skin tones just in the middle. It's a really professional job.
I don't know how they did it. I think they basically highlighted the ends of the spectrum and then left the middle sort of untouched, which is usually where skin tones fall.
Kind of, from what I could tell.
Because like the sharp reds and blues and greens and even yellow... Yeah. Were very, very vibrant, and then everything else just felt normal.
Yeah, they key mapped. I mean, they pretty much just narrowed in the high tones and the low tones of the red color grade and then pumped those.
Yeah.
And I think they also must have done some key mapping where they isolated the skin tone and managed to keep that just a little bit balanced. I do color grading, so I this is kind of my jam.
Yeah, I know, it makes sense.
And because it's the only way you can kind of do, especially when you are pumping the red as much as they seem to be here, because there is a lot of very vibrant sunlit red, and that's hard to get that bright.
It's not unusual considering that the main villain, you could say, is called Red, and
and they're all wearing these red jumpsuits. I mean, red is a very primary color here.
Yeah, red and. Pretty much like the primary colors, because yellow and blue.
Yellow, blue, there's a lot of white.
Yeah, there's
but the white is desaturated, which is kind of the interesting thing. They've done a really interesting thing there where...
Yeah, the white doesn't really shine blindingly.
There's not a lot of white, there's not a lot of black, which is kind of unusual for a horror movie.
That's true.
There isn't a lot of, like... there's not... Even the night scenes are fairly well lit. At no point are we in darkness, except right at the beginning with the little girl.
Yeah, the little girl, then there's the little chase scene between the teenage girl.
Still in streetlights.
It's streetlights, and it's well-lit streetlights.
Well-lit streetlights.
But still kind of dark compared to the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And then when they're in the house, just while they're talking. And then immediately after that...
And again, not really pumping those blacks very much. They want you to see everything that's happening. There's no hiding a lot in the shadows here.
No.
But what they do, and they did it a couple of times in the film that I thought was really interesting. We were talking before about this out of focus thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times what you'll do is you'll hide the out of focus stuff in shadow. What they did here is they hid the out of focus stuff in the color.
Yeah.
So you have matching color patterns that blend together out of focus, and then something in the color moves.
Yeah,
which is really interesting.
Yeah, like a red car with
the red jumpsuit. And like the dark hair on the black window. I mean, they do a really great match there. Because you're watching and you're like, you don't register it because there's no movement. And then suddenly out of this, it moves. And you're like, oh.
No, it was shot beautifully.
Oh,
the movie.
Really beautifully.
Great acting. Like you said, very little to complain about.
And it's just a straight up good, well-made movie.
Yeah, and although I would prefer a movie like Get Out over this.
Yeah, I mean, I think
just because I like a little bit of mystery in there.
Yeah.
And it's way more like plot focused. This one, although does have, like we were saying, 2 twists essentially.
Two twists, yeah.
Yeah. Me personally, I could sort of see from...
Yeah, and you did call it quite early, and I kind of noticed you calling it earlier than that.
When I first saw like the opening scene, I was like, oh, I think I know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it sort of just reaffirmed that throughout the movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is the other side of it, though, which is that if we'd been talking about something like Get Out, we probably actually would have more to talk about, because that movie has a lot more of these little highlight points you can point out and go, holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
This movie doesn't have quite as many of those. It's more consistently well made, which means that it does leave you with just a good impression, but it's hard to point at things very directly.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, though, is the foreshadowing is amazing. They do a really... Setting up everything is really well done.
This movie reminded me a little bit of Breaking Bad in that sense. Where in Breaking Bad, the principle of Chekhov's gun, which if you don't know is, if a gun is shown in the first act, then it should be used in the second act.
Or the third. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you show something, use it. Don't make it... Don't show anything that's pointless, basically.
Yeah, no, that's a theater principle.
Yeah, that's a theater principle called Chekhov's gun. And Breaking Bad, the reason why that show is so brilliant is because every single little detail in that show, even the goddamn Roomba, has something to do with the overall plot of that season.
Yeah.
And every season is set up that way, where every little detail is used.
Yeah.
This movie has very much similar, where everything you see is then used later on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And everything discussed, everything mentioned. Yeah. The one thing I will say that it does, both Breaking Bad and this, is that it doesn't feel forced.
No, not at all.
It feels very natural. It doesn't have the Harry Potter problem, as I call it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Horcrux, really? Bite me. Sorry, I mean, I do like Harry Potter, but that whole thing about everything, we're going to take random pieces from the older novels to motivate the newer novels, like,
No, but that's the thing. That's what's different with, like, we were mentioning Breaking Bad, is that it doesn't necessarily take things from older seasons and implements them forcefully and newer. It's in season. Each season is set up meticulously from the get-go.
Yeah, and this movie is very much the same.
Yes, where you can tell that this was really well thought out.
Yeah.
Every scene, every single piece of dialogue used, every little prop, everything was used to its effect.
I mean, this is what Jordan Peele is very quickly becoming very well known for, is that he is a brilliant craftsman.
Yeah.
That the craft, that the forethought, the planning, it's meticulous, it's well executed. Everything that needs to be on theme is on theme. And he fills his films with little moments that reaffirm what he's trying to do in the film. I mean, nothing that you can use is going to waste.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why the film feels so fast-paced, yet... like it's not so, I mean, it feels fast-paced because everything is so well structured.
Yeah, exactly.
And so well put together that it just flows seamless.
Yeah, I mean, the boat is the perfect example of this.
So, the boat.
You start off,
brilliant.
The dad buys a boat and the entire family's lined up there on the dock going, oh shit, he bought a boat.
Yeah.
And it tells you a lot about this character, and it tells you a lot about this family.
Yeah, and 3 or 4 things are mentioned about the boat. Two of them I think are shown.
Yep.
And then 2 of them are just mentioned.
Yep.
So One of them is that it drifts a little to the left.
Yep, it drifts a little to the left.
Yeah. The second is that the motor sometimes stops and you have to hit it and it will start again.
Or it can just start on its own.
Or it starts on its own. And then the third thing that's actually shown is when it does start on its own, the kick makes you fall over because it accelerates so quickly. And then they mentioned that he doesn't have a flare in conversation.
Mentions he doesn't have a flare gun. And 5, it tells you that there is a
buoy. A buoy, yeah.
Buoy with a rope on it.
Yes.
On the boat.
And every single one of those things are like, if you count the amount of screen time they have in the beginning, it's like maybe
they seem like
minute,
little just jokey prop comments as part of...
Like and throwaway lines. Yeah. But every single one of those are used to a really brilliant effect.
Yeah, but not only that, but they're used in the film in the beginning as if they're just there to give you information about the guy.
Yeah, right.
Because the flare gun thing is something that's mentioned by the asshole friend, Heidecker.
Yeah, like, I knew you wouldn't buy the flare gun.
And it's there to establish, number 1, he's a dick. Number 2, he has a boat. A boat
exactly.
That is amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And and that he has one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is also used later on.
I mean, it's like... It's
and the name of that boat, oh my god.
What was it again?
The Biatch.
Yeah, the Biatch.
Where it says B and then apostrophe yacht apostrophe ch. So Biatch. Oh my god, such an asshole move.
It is such a dick. His entire family, they're just dick move all over the place. So
just like how, what was his name, Winston Duke?
Yeah.
Oozes dad energy?
Yeah.
That whole family oozes asshole energy.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. What you're watching is the difference between a really great, well kind of constructed family and a reality TV family.
Yes. That's a really nice way of putting it.
Yeah, because that's the energy that family brings. Yeah. It's really interesting that they
the kind of family that you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe these people exist.
Yeah, but it's also the kind of family you sit there and you're thinking to yourself, I've met people like this.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because they're not evil in any way. They're just assholes. Kind of assholes. You know, it's like it's an unhappy marriage.
Yeah,
and
like
they're kind of shitty to each other, but they've got a lot of money.
Very superficial. Very. Throwaway, you could say.
Very throwaway. I mean, like, the twin daughters, like, oh, just because we're in our rooms doesn't mean we're asleep. Whereas on the other side of it, you have them checking in to make sure their kids are going to bed and tucking them in. And
talking with them.
It's a thing.
And,
and also, we got, again, a little bit of credit here to the swearing thing.
Oh, yeah. That was great. Especially following Demolition Man. That was great.
Oh. But yeah, because there's a family where they're trying to stop their kids swearing, but they have these wonderful... The best one was when they're in their car, and the kid goes, kiss my anus.
Yeah, and the father was like, what? What did you just say?
Why did you say that?
Why did you say that?
And the kid is like, I was not allowed to... Well, I wasn't allowed to curse. And the dad's like, you know what? In this case, I would have preferred a curse word.
Yeah.
The dad energy is so... I mean, Winston Duke just seals the show whenever he's, like, doing that part. He's like... The whole movie feels so heavy and serious and panicked and survivalist. And then Winston Duke is just there, kind of bringing a whole different thing to it. I mean, for me, Lupita Nyong'o, again, just so great an actress, but Winston Duke just brought the game here on just keeping the balance between the horror, the family, and the thriller aspects of it.
Yeah, because not only was he comic relief, he was also the supporting dad.
Oh, I mean, he carries it well.
Yeah. I think every single character here has a pretty full... At least the main characters.
Yeah.
A very full character.
Yeah, no, you understand who these people are.
Yeah, like there's some development going on.
Yeah. The sister is, again, talking about setting up. Yeah. We understand she wants to quit track and field.
Yeah.
Later on in the film, her ability to run is kind of a big deal.
Yes.
So like they do such a great job.
Actually, her ability to run, the ability of a double to run, is an even bigger deal.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Because she waits, which is even freakier because the camera is like full on her face and she's doing this incredibly creepy
that smile is just
and then she's just waiting and stretching.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
Click.
Click. Oh, and then just waiting for her to go just out of frame and then she starts running after her.
Yeah, again.
And then it was the whole, in the shadows, which is as the camera is panning, while you're focused on the real teenage
girl.
Yeah,
you just see her run.
Yeah, you just see like a little bit of red go through on the edge of the screen, go into the bushes, and you're like, hang on a second, did she already catch up? That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's nutty.
Yeah, it's kind of like Michael Myers-esque, I would say.
Oh, yeah, no, this movie has a lot of that kind of thing. I mean, they're wearing jumpsuits. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that going on here.
It's wearing some of its influences on its sleeve, but that's fine because, 80s nostalgia is all the rave right now.
And it's all, I mean, that's what a lot of this movie is in a strange kind of way. It is very much a callback. It is what would have happened if you took 80s horror movies, Twilight Zone, and then made them, not trying to be nostalgic. You actually used the modern technology, the crisp cinematography, the color grading, all of that good modern stuff to make it.
Yeah, with only a few throwaway references here and there.
Little bits here and there, but even the references kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're doing it for a reason.
Yeah, it's either a comic relief or it's there to show dad energy.
Or it's tying back into the little girl at the beginning. I mean, it's an interesting kind of mix thing going on.
Because notice... Well, do I want to spoil? We have spoiled, so...
We have spoiled quite a bit here.
So notice how she never makes the references that are older than a certain time period.
Yep. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
No, I gotta say...
I'm not saying who.
No,
but notice.
No, again, I just thought... I thought the same thing when I saw it the first time. This is just a really good movie. It isn't a come-out-of-left-field wonderkin like Get Out.
Yeah. I mean, even, there are some things that I don't love about Get Out. But overall, it's a more... For me, personally, it was a more interesting film.
More impactful.
Yeah. And I think... And just like I mentioned earlier, I mean, that's kind of the problem was when you... where you have something to think about, and then you have years and years to plan, and that's your directorial debut, and you're doing your all, and then it makes however much money, and then the studio goes, make us another one, and you have to have it ready in a year, so that we can start shooting.
Small point, this was not made on a big budget.
No, but a bigger budget than Get Out, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, it has probably
too much. I mean, and it also made a crap load of money, if I remember rightly. It was a kind of a big deal that he'd kind of struck gold twice on this.
Yeah, the budget is estimated to be around $20 million.
Yep, which is not huge for kind of the scope of the movie.
Yeah, and it says it made
$255 million.
$255 million. Yeah, that's a huge return. That's
over
10 times.
Is a big money earner.
Yeah. That's for us, and then for Get Out, how much was that? That was estimated. Oh wow, really?
Yeah, made the same amount of money, but was made for $4.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge budget difference.
It is a huge budget difference,
and you can kind of tell. I mean, this is a bigger budget movie. It's more.
The money's used well.
Yeah. Because you have a lot of varying locations.
A lot of locations, a lot of large locations.
Yeah, and it's constantly changing. Even if they reuse a location, it's different angles, different areas within the location, so it always feels fresh. Meanwhile, Get Out is a bit more confined.
Yeah, it's like one location.
Essentially.
One location, less known actors. I mean...
Yeah, but actors that are now getting
a lot of credit and kudos. I mean,
because that was watching Get Out was the first time I was introduced to Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes,
and the minute I saw him in that movie, I was like, "This guy is going places."
Yes, that changed.
Yeah, unfortunately, right after that, I saw the 2017 Death Note live action.
God, you told me about this. I haven't seen.
And he plays L. Now, as someone who's a big fan of Death Note, the anime, and then having gone back and read the manga. Seeing Death Note, 2017,
yeah.
And yes,
but he's the guy
Sorry to Bother You. And Sorry to Bother You, brilliant, right? So that brought hope back. Sorry to Bother You.
Wait, he's in Knives Out?
Yeah, he's the second.
I haven't seen
detective.
Knives Out yet.
He's the second detective, essentially.
Oh.
He's the main police detective.
Who's the main detective in that? Oh, it's Daniel Craig, isn't it?
Well, Daniel Craig is a consulting detective.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. I need to get around to it.
He plays the archetypal
private eye.
Yeah, well, no, he plays like the Sherlock or the Poirot kind of guy who is like a consulting detective, and then you have the actual detectives which is Lakeith and some other guy who's a big fan of Daniel Craig, apparently. Like in the movie, like in movie universe. Yeah.
Oh, very very Agatha Christie.
Because Daniel Craig is something Blanc. Yeah, it's a very Agatha Christie, but it's like a twist on that.
Don't tell me. I do want to watch that movie.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't mean like it's a twist. Like like it's
subversion.
It's because Rian Johnson is known for that. He subverts. True. Yeah, he subverts genres. He
does.
Yeah,
he subverts Star Wars. I'll tell you that much.
He subverted Star Wars real hard.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, he subverts genres. Brick is a brilliant example.
Yeah, Brick. Yep.
Brick is one of my favorite movies. This is a brilliant movie.
Brick is great. Yeah, no doubt.
My favorite thing about Brick is the use of language. The use of language in that movie is on frickin' point.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. It's linguistically intensive.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
Very intensive, where they use phrases that are like all in universe, and it's so... for someone who's a big fan of linguistics and English specifically.
Well, so am I. I mean, I'm a language guy.
Yeah,
no doubt.
So it was a pleasure.
Yeah, no, because I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it is, and for me, you know what? I liked him in Black Panther. Winston Duke is my MVP for this. I knew Lupita Nyong'o was good. Winston Duke.
That was the out of left field. So the movie wasn't out of left field, but Winston Duke's performance was out of left field.
We're both kind of just sitting there because I mean, even me who has seen it before was kind of like remembering how good this was, and you were just blown away.
Yeah, I had a smile on my face throughout the whole movie, even through the gory stuff. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
And I will give Jordan Peele the highest kudos I can perhaps give him. I think this guy has the potential to be the next Scorsese. Because his craftsmanship is out of this world. Yeah,
I think with a little bit more guidance, maybe a change of genre.
Continuing to learn and progress. This is his second movie. I mean, my God.
Pretty much, yeah.
This guy
he's directed a few episodes of, what is it?
Twilight Zone, the new one?
No, I mean, obviously, because he created that. But other than Get Out, I think he only had a little bit of like a few episodes of some show.
Did he?
In his bag. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so he has not done a lot behind the camera.
No, I mean and he's done like writing and such, but not
for like Key and Peele, obviously for like comedy. But yeah, no, seeing what he's actually been able to do behind the camera is just amazing. Yeah, if you go to director, only 2 credits.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Get Out was his first director. It was the first thing he directed, and he knocked it out of the park.
Oh, wow.
I also got to give credit to Jordan Peele because he did something that I think more people should do just because of how great it is. He went to UCLA, which I believe was his alma mater, and without telling anybody, went into a class that was about racial relations in film that they were going to discuss Get Out.
Oh, wow.
Sat at the back of the class, watched the lecture, at which point the professor asks unknowingly, so does anyone actually think they know what Jordan Peele was thinking when he made this movie? Raises his hand and goes, I might have an idea.
Wow.
Which is like,
that's some
that is a power move.
Yeah, that's some Big D energy right there.
That's a power move.
That's slapping it on the table right there. that's like, I might have an idea.
Yes.
Thwop.
No, I mean, there's so many good performances in this, just kind of surprisingly good performances that I'm going to be keeping an eye on some of these people.
Yeah.
Certainly brought them to my attention. Especially Winston Duke. I mean,
Winston Duke, Lupita, but the kids, by far. The teenage girl, what was her name?
Shahira. We're terrible with names. For both of us, this is like the big problem we're having during this show. Shahadi. Yes.
So yeah, definitely keeping my eye out on her, and I'm hoping to see the little kid. Again, what was his name? Evan Alex. Yeah, I'm hoping to see what he does next because I think he has some potential.
Yeah, no, this is kind of his first big one, I think.
Yeah,
he's also in Kidding. Is that the thing with what's his name?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's my brain has frozen.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Yeah, he's done a show. It's supposed to be
a show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of like a combination of humorous and depressing.
That's right up my alley.
It's like the same kind of thing.
That's right up my alley.
It's the same thing as Gervais has been doing recently. He did that show.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's very similar.
All right.
In terms of like tone, I'm not sure how. I haven't watched it, so I have no idea. But I've heard good things.
All right, I'll have to look it up at some point.
Yeah, I'm mixed on Jim Carrey, but he can sometimes pull it out.
Yeah, no, Jim Carrey, Man on the Moon, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, when he's
brilliant.
doing
Lloyd
Kaufman.
No,
not Lloyd Kaufman.
not Lloyd Kaufman.
Charlie Kaufman. No. Who is it? Oh crap!
I hate myself. Oh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
If you had closed down the recording software there, I would have lost my mind. That would have been one thing too many.
Oh God, that was we almost had a major disaster.
We almost had a Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon.
There we go. Did I?
Yeah.
There it is. Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
So many Kaufmans.
Yeah, because Lloyd Kaufman is the guy who does the trauma films, right?
Yeah, that's him. And Trauma.
Trauma, yeah. Traumaville.
And Charlie Kaufman is who? I don't remember.
That's his brother, right?
Is it? No.
I think so. Because they usually make movies together, right?
I have no idea. I don't know much about the Trauma
films,
really. No.
Really? I've seen a few, like Tromeo and Juliet.
Oh, my lord. I think the only thing I've seen is...
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that's the only one I watched, and I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, that's kind of the point with trauma films. They are horrible movies.
But not just terrible in a, oh no, this is bad. I mean, terrible in as a, oh dear God, make it stop.
Yeah, no. Just but yeah, definitely. That's trauma in a nutshell. Is that don't watch Gravitas films.
Gravitas?
Yeah, don't do that.
What the hell is Gravitas?
No, don't do it. Just don't do it.
What is it? No, no, you're not getting away with it. You need to tell me what this is.
No, I don't want to.
What the earth is Gravitas?
Gravitas Ventures, I believe it's called.
Ventures.
That's like a production company. They make the worst movies ever made or ever put on film.
I don't think it can be worse than the people who just made, and I am not kidding about this, the movie Corona Zombies.
What?
Yep.
That's a thing?
That's a thing!
That's a thing.
Oh, no, it's too far away. I can't find it right now. But there is another... it's like one of these, I think... What are they called? Shivering Isles? Or no, not Shivering Isles. But it's a production company that does terrible, low-budget, quick-as-you-can kind of horror movies.
Yeah, and like Blumhouse.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
This is the second time you've mentioned Blumhouse. What's the issue with Blumhouse?
I don't like Blumhouse. I don't think that's...
Fair enough. I mean, I can't blame you for that.
Actually, if we're going to be completely fair, I think Blumhouse's business model is brilliant.
What is it they make again? I completely
They
forget.
make the lowest... They made all the Paranormal Activity. I think
is that them?
Yeah,
right,
they're making all the Conjuring movies, too.
Those cost money.
I know, but that's their thing. Their business model is, let's make 100 trash movies with a budget of less than $1 million, essentially.
It's the same like those people. Yeah. It's a company that's making the
it's like
London Has Fallen movies.
Yes, those guys. So they make 100 really trashy. They even put like straight to Hulu, man. Just to give you an idea. They have straight to Hulu movies.
Nice.
And then those, because they. Even if you make a movie that's like less than $1 million, it's gonna make a few million.
Yeah,
profit.
Completely.
Yeah, so they use those to fund the bigger projects, which are the Conjurings and so on and so forth.
Again, I mean, I was watching a documentary. It's called Electric Boogaloo. It's about Canon Film Group.
Yeah.
At the end of it, they're interviewing the people who made London Has Fallen because they consider themselves the spiritual successors to the Canon Film Group.
Why would you even say that?
They're like, yeah, no, we learned
this
from
company that went under.
Yeah, we learned from them, and we now know what we need to do to not do the same mistakes.
Yeah, no, Blumhouse follows the same business model, which is we're gonna throw a bunch of trash out there. That's gonna make us some money because people are desperate to watch anything. Everything and anything.
Everybody needs something in the cinema all the time.
All the time. And then we'll make some money from that, and that will fund our bigger projects.
We'll franchise it. Franchise it.
So yeah, their business model is brilliant, but I hate them for it.
Yeah, no,
because they take all of the beauty of filmmaking completely out of the equation.
Not like the Canon films, which managed to fund insanity and cocaine, because those movies are unbelievable.
Superman 4,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yes. Oh
or
my god!
one of my personal favorite, Invasion USA.
Invasion USA. I've seen
the later the ones with Charles Bronson.
Yes, all the Charles Bronson movies.
It's not called Vigilante. What is it called again? You know what I'm talking.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think I saw it recently.
Did you?
No, I saw Red Letter Media do a special.
Oh, right.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's those movies, or perhaps my favorite of them all, Ninja 3: The Domination.
Yeah, Ninja.
The Ninja movies.
They were on Mystery Science Theater, weren't they?
I think at least the first one of them was.
Yeah, one of them was.
Yeah, Ninja 3: The Domination is special though because it's a ninja who has possessed the spirit of a woman after conducting a police massacre on a golf field.
As you do. I mean that makes perfect sense.
It's just you really are just left wondering, what is this? How is this happening? Why is there a sex scene where a woman is covering herself in V8 juice? How?
V8 specifically.
I
know what V8 is.
That thick
fruit
juice.
It's not fruit, it's vegetable
juice.
Yeah, that's what it's 8 vegetables.
I swear
V8.
to God, you are watching this shit and like, she's reaching for the nightstand and you're like, okay, movie, where are we going with this? This nude woman is reaching for a nightstand and she comes back with V8. And you're like, whoa! And you're like, she's gonna have a drink? No, she's gonna pour it all over herself. Movie, no.
That
movie is unbelievable.
Oh my god! Who thought that could be sexy?
I don't know. One of those Israeli guys.
Oh, all right. How do we? Tangent aside, but how did we get to this tangent? What happened? We were talking about a good filmmaker.
We were talking about Jordan Peele, which somehow ended up was talking about Jim Carrey, which somehow ended up talking about V8 juice on a woman in a canon film.
Stop! I don't want to hear it anymore.
How did we do this?
Stop with the V8 juice.
V8 juice until that whole movie needs to be seen.
No, I refuse.
You.
No, I refuse.
I might make you.
No. After Legend, I refuse.
Listen,
I am gonna vet all the movies that you send me.
No,
yeah,
no, you're not. We're not gonna have this. No. There's certain films you need to see.
I don't. Leave me alone. Leave Brittany alone.
No, you need to watch the sex scene of a woman covering herself in V8 juice on a man who is hairier than a werewolf.
Oh no! It's not after what was it? Face Off.
Face Off. Yeah. Oh, so much chest hair.
So much chest hair.
We were just watching Face Off, and
we watched 2 great movies.
Yeah,
Face Off and Demolition Man.
Yeah, you know what we should do? We should do a separate for Patreon. We should just do. We watched this and we had fun. It's just like, fuck it, movies.
Yes, the John Woo of movies.
Oh, the John Woo of movies. If a movie could dual-wield pistols in midair in slow motion.
With doves flying in the background.
Doves!
It's Face Off.
God almighty, Face Off.
I mean, we're well aware John Woo made Face Off.
Yes.
We're just saying that it's the most John Woo of John Woo movie.
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing more John Woo. I mean, let's be clear. John Woo doing Chinese cinema, like Hong Kong cinema, hard-boiled, The Killer,
brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, those are amazing. John Woo doing American movies,
amazing, in all those movies.
Yeah. When he does American movies, though, there is something very special happening.
That's the thing. Hong Kong cinema should stay in Hong Kong. Don't bastardize it.
Let's be clear. You made us watch Ang Lee. We are not happy with you. Jesus. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, great. First Hulk movie? No. Don't. Eric Bana, everybody. Woo.
Yes. Eric Bana.
Eric Bana as the Hulk. Generic white boy.
The most believable of the Hulks, I might add. Because Edward Norton was definitely not.
Edward Norton was a little...
Edward Norton was special in that movie.
He's special.
Him and Tim Roth.
Movie. Yeah, Tim Roth. I like Tim Roth.
Me too.
I really like
Tim Roth. Tim Roth is a character, though.
I'm not entirely sure I buy Tim Roth as a, dual gun-wielding badass.
Yeah.
I buy him as a drug dealer.
As a drug dealer. I buy him as the guy lying with a pool of his own blood in Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, I buy him as that completely.
Yeah, where he's quiet for most of the movie.
I buy him sticking up a diner with his honey bunny.
Exactly, from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
See, Tarantino knows how to use Tim Roth. Because even in Hateful Eight, I have my gripes with that movie, but Tim Roth in that movie is great.
Yeah. So
Samuel and
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. I was about to say Russell Crowe. I was like, no, that's not it.
You heard about the property destruction there, right?
No.
The scene in the film where Kurt Russell destroys a guitar.
Yeah.
That was an actual 200-year-old guitar.
Oh, no.
That they had borrowed from a museum to put in the scene, and Kurt Russell didn't know that, and then improvised and destroyed a relic of American music history. And Tarantino has been banned from borrowing anything from any museum again.
No shit. Why would they give it to him in the first place?
It was just hanging on the wall. He just grabs it.
Tarantino was a madman.
No. Poor Kurt Russell. And Kurt Russell felt super bad about it.
Because Tarantino has been known to also be pretty reckless when it comes to stunts.
Yes.
I think Uma Thurman got really badly injured in Kill Bill 2?
Yeah, during the car driving scene where he insisted she do it herself and not a stuntwoman do it.
Even though the camera was in the back and all you see is the back of her head.
It could have been someone else.
It could have literally been someone else.
Yeah, and she blames him for that. I mean, it's she's publicly stated it.
Yeah, because she was, she's injured now permanently, I believe, yeah.
There's some kind of back injury, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, no. So he's a madman. Don't give him
anything.
Antiques.
Never let him have anything. Really.
Have fake antiques. Don't actually give him.
Also, give him fake actors.
Yeah, give him fake actors.
That's why we gave. You know what?
Give him porcelain dolls. They'll have feet for days.
That's why they gave him Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Fake actor.
They're not real. We know that.
Actors playing actors, always great.
It is pretty great. I mean, my favorite part of that whole thing is that it is so clearly Burt Reynolds. Yeah, it is just Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, but my favorite thing about that is Brad Pitt's speech when he talks about how Tarantino gave us feet. Oodles of feet on film.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my favorite part about all that.
Wiggle your little toes.
Oh my god! All right,
that whole movie. Yeah, no, I think
we've exhausted this topic.
We are so far down the rabbit hole, I can't even see us anymore.
Yeah, I think the tangents have built so far above us right now.
I can hear Jordan Peele desperately calling for our attention the next county over. Get out!
Come on, we got to get out of here. Come on!
I knew you were going to bring in the Schwarzenegger.
I cannot do the Schwarzenegger when I say.
But again, I love the fact that Get Out is based off a joke.
Yeah, it's an Eddie Murphy.
It is an Eddie Murphy joke where Eddie Murphy is saying like, "Yeah, maybe we got to have this wonderful home. We got to build our lives here. Get out. Say we can't stay, baby."
Yeah, when he's talking about the Amityville.
Yeah, Amityville horror. It's kind of like that's what he says. Why black people aren't in horror movies.
Yeah.
And it's Jordan Peele in an interview said, and that's exactly why he used that title, because he was gonna make a horror movie by black people for black people, kind of. Yeah. Which is an unusual thing.
I can't believe people had problems with that statement.
Of course.
Remember the controversy around that? Oh, that's ridiculous.
You know what? No, I'm sorry. When all the movies are made equal, fine. Until that time, we're going to be sitting here watching Winston Duke smiling.
Yes.
I'm going to be awesome. I'm going to watch Winston Duke sprawl on a bed in little plaid shorts.
Trying to get comfortable in this tiny little bed compared to him.
Yeah. Him just lying in this little bed with a look in his eye that says,
"The magic room."
The magic room. The magic room is where I might get something more than the missionary.
Because he's lying on his bed.
He's got such a look.
Oh my god.
His wife is standing there shivering, looking out a window, and he's like, "This could work.
This could work. Why don't you come to bed?"
Oh god, I love it. Yeah, watch this movie, please. Just for no other reason.
Final ratings. Enough of
final ratings.
Final ratings. What do you give it? On a scale of 1 to 10, where 5 is average, 8. And 8 out of 10.
It's a good solid 8.
It's a great movie.
It's a great solid 8. It doesn't have the magic for a 9.
I agree.
Get Out, I think, was a 9. I'd push Get Out as an 8 or a 9. I don't know which. This is a solid 8.
Yeah. Just because most of it was, for me personally, was a little predictable.
Yep.
I'm going to give it a solid 7.
Fair enough.
I think it's a good movie.
Yep.
It's definitely, so it's between a 7 or 8. It's definitely closer to an 8, I think, I mean, like 7.5. It's closer to 7.5
it's a
than it is
7.5.
to 7.
I think we can both agree. It's a 7.5.
Yeah. If I was a bit more surprised, if the ending was a little different, I would have given it an 8.
The foreshadowing was a bit heavy-handed. The
foreshadowing was very heavy-handed. But just the fact that it was so well crafted.
That's the thing.
It is like...
I struggle to get past craftsmanship.
Yeah, it's so well crafted. Like, I wish I could give it an 8. It's just that the plot fell a little short for me.
For me, having seen it on a bigger screen, having seen it with like a little bit more of a visceral experience in a dark room and late in the evening, I think that's why I'm pushing for 8, because it has impact because of the visual style. It's so strong. But yeah, no, 7.5. I can meet you midway.
Yeah, 7.5. I think is because I really want to give it an 8, but I can't quite put myself to go all the way. I get that. And I feel like 7 is too low for this movie. Deserves more than a 7, but I just can't go for the full 8. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
So between 7 and 8, take that for
whatever it's worth.
Yeah, for what it's worth.
Watch this movie.
It's a good to great film.
Yes,
the craftsmanship is impeccable. The plot, depending on who you are and what you've seen and experienced before, might be a bit more predictable than most, which kind of sucks when the movie sort of tries to build up to this.
Yeah, I think this is the problem where it's like it's for the Twilight Zone fans, but Twilight Zone fans will see where this is going.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where the problem stems from.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, that's a shame, but overall...
Still a great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
So, if you want to let us know what you thought of us, because... we're
the movie, us, not you and I.
Hey, if you have an opinion on us as well, you're allowed to have an opinion on us.
Both are equally welcome.
That is sightonscreen@gmail.com, all one word.
Or patreon.com/sightonscreen.
If you want to be a little bit more generous monetarily, or you want to give us monetary incentive to continue doing this program, as much as we do enjoy it.
Yeah, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
And as always, we are open to suggestions, ideas. If you have something very specific you would like to hear on the Patreon, please do let us know, because that is something that is a little bit in flux. We're trying to figure out what would be a thing that our people would like to listen to for just a little bit of something extra. Just that little thing on top. What's the icing? Yeah, even ideas for like rewards, things that you want to see. Completely.
Yeah, by all means, throw us suggestions, because we're figuring this out as well, equally... with you.
Yeah, we are blundering around in the dark. Yeah. We need a helping hand.
I can barely get a sentence out. Listen to me.
Yeah, I'm desperate. Feel free to get in touch. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yep, that is the entire plan. We will see you next week. I don't know what we're doing yet. Hopefully we're going to be able to schedule a little bit better moving forward. We're going to start planning it out a little bit stronger, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It's early days. We're allowed to have our we're having our early stumbling days.
But yeah, thanks again, and signing off.
Toodles.